turn off this music so we can get started here. So, but I know you could spend anywhere and doing anything right now, just about. Well, maybe not quite everything, but I'm glad you chose to spend it here with the Jeff Stempler team. And today we're going to talk about giving calls to action. And because anybody who's ever been in sales at any point in their life, they're like, that's the most critical thing. You have to do a call to action. That's the thing you have to do. But people don't really break it down and talk about what that actually is, what that actually sounds like. And so we're going to talk about that today and how to make that happen. Some very practical tips today, not just do it, because I think that's not always the most helpful information. Just a reminder, next week we're going to have another class, the Easy Guide to Tech You Need Now. I taught this class back in January, but I wanted to repeat it because so much of that information is suddenly a lot more relevant. Back in January, we never anticipated the amount of work we would need to be doing online and connecting with people. And so we have a lot of great tools. Most of them are free or inexpensive for you to use. And so we'll kind of go through that. If you weren't there in January, I hope you'll pop back in next week. If you just want a refresher, I would love to see you there. And we will get rolling today. And let's see. So, Jeff, you want to introduce everybody on our team today?
Sure. So Adam Barnes is my loan partner, and he is right now taking applications, reviewing documentation, structuring loans, turning them in. He's been on my team for about 10 years, and I can't have anybody better in the DC metro area on my team. So please, if you can referral and send it to Adam, he'll take care of it. If you're already doing that, you probably know how great Adam is and what a good communicator he is. Jennifer, obviously, she does a lot of things. This is one of them. She does these webinars for you guys. She really enjoys educating you. And she just runs our operations, making sure everything is running smoothly. And then we have Keena Jones, our marketing guru specialist, who helps anything that you guys need regarding list reports for getting information out to on the web about a listing or anything you can think of. She's there. She does tons of marketing for us on our side as well. So again, there's Jeff Stempler, and he is the loan officer of this team, and we really appreciate your business, and always feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions about the market, or if you want to go over that after the webinar, I would be glad to put you in touch with Keena or Jennifer if they can answer it and I can't, and if I can answer it, I'd be glad to help you out. So yes. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, and that goes for all the classes that we've done. If you want some more information or me to talk about a specific piece with you, I'm glad to do that and talk with you through and get you started. Because some of the tech things I have found or the suggestions we have, I could give you the idea, but sometimes when you're first starting out, it's easier to have somebody to work that with you one-on-one. Happy to do that, happy to help, because we want you to succeed. And anything we can do to help your business grow, we want to be a part of that, because we all win together. What is it? A rising tide lifts all ships. And so we want to be part of that. So let's get started. Basic information. There's 4 parts to every successful sale. Y'all know this. Getting the leads, talking to potential clients. That's your big funnel. And then we're going to kind of work down a funnel here, building relationships next. So you have this big pool of potential leads. Well, how do you build relationships with those? And how do you connect with the ones that are the best ones for you to help bring in business or help you connect with? Call to action, asking for the sale, and follow up, becoming their realtor for life. So that's what we're going to do today. Focus on that third piece of this, the call to action. we have talked in the past classes that we've done one on getting leads and building relationships and follow-up, actually. So if you want to go over those specifics, let me know. I'll be glad to share those past PowerPoints with you, so you can kind of put together your full plan of how you're going to continue to grow your business. But today it's about asking for that sale in a non-slimy, creepy way. Because I think most of us, our gut reaction when we say, oh, you have to do a call to action, our gut reaction is, used car salesperson, you know, and instantly it feels sleazy and slimy and gross. And I think we always can, most people in your mind, you probably can picture what that person looks like. And even if you're female, it still looks like the same kind of guy. You feel like that sometimes. The fact of the matter is there are ways to do this that will significantly grow your business without being creepy and weird. First thing first, you're in sales. And I think there's some apprehension about that. But the fact is you're surrounded by calls to action every single day. Think about it. When the last time somebody asked you over to dinner at their house, or you ask somebody to, let's say you're asking somebody over to come over to my house for dinner. Let's think back to the good old days when we could do that. You would say, hey, come on over. We're going to grill out. We're going to have some great wine. I'm making my, world famous pound cake for dessert here. That's sales. You're selling it. You're making it appealing to that person. You're connecting to that person and what they would want so they can spend time with you. The best salespeople in the world, I think, are preschoolers in the Target toy aisle. I mean, have you ever heard a kid beg you for a toy or hear that sound? Like you could be across the Target and you could hear that kid because they have that certain, tone. But they are sitting there and they are issuing, mommy, please. We've all heard that. So sales aren't a bad thing, and you are in sales. And get comfortable with that is what I encourage you. We're in the business of helping people. And in order to help people, you have to sell them on your product, which is you. So let's move on. First rule of all of this, though, is actually help your clients. Don't ask for the business unless you provide excellence. And if you are not already providing excellence for your clients, fix that first. Because once you know you are providing excellence, you want them to use you. You want them to have you as your realtor because you know you're going to do the absolute best for them. You don't want them going to somebody else because you know you're going to do the best for them. Notice I didn't say perfection there. Sometimes I think we can get held back by going, oh, I can't do that yet because I have to be perfect. Well, providing perfect is, nobody's perfect. Nobody's capable of providing perfect. You want to provide excellent for your clients and continually strive to do better. That's our point here. We are going to do excellent for our clients. Nobody's going to provide more for our clients. And every day we're going to be working on becoming a better person. So that's why I like this quote by Pat Riley. Excellence is the gradual result of always striving to do better. I had to throw in a basketball quote just for Jeff because we know Jeff's the basketball man. He's muted. You're muted. But truly.
I was shocked. I have to say, that's awesome.
You probably shocked I knew who Pat Riley is, but hey, I'm Carolina. We know. The next, I think, hindrance to calls to action are it feels uncomfortable. So I encourage you to be inspired by your local Girl Scout. They provide an excellent product and they simply ask. They're putting on an elaborate sales pitch. Think about it. Somebody comes up to you and said, okay, here's our plan. Here's our business plan. You're going to fund nearly your entire budget Until recently, you can only sell this in person, face to face, largely, you know, knocking on neighbors' doors. You can only sell this product a limited time a year. Oh, wait, actually, you're not selling this product. Only children are selling it. Most people would run from that and think it was impossible. But yet the Girl Scouts have shown us, if you provide an excellent product and simply ask, it can be done. It can be done very well, and you can be very, very successful at it. So next time you go, oh, I don't want to do the call to action. Think about your Girl Scout and be inspired and follow their lead. The next hindrance is like that slimy feeling, or it sounds weird. Well, transformation requires discomfort. And also, it may sound weird to you because you haven't done it enough yet, but you are in sales and you want to help people. And so it doesn't sound weird to other people. They know that. Nobody's coming to you as a realtor and thinking that you are in, you know, widget building. They know you're in sales. So, and they've come out to you because they have heard good things about you. So I encourage you to reach beyond that comfort zone, because right now, doing the same thing over and over again, you're going to get the same results. I challenge you to see, when you start asking for the business and asking, and issuing these calls to action, it will have a huge positive impact on your growth of your business. Jeff, if you don't mind, if I want to get you to unmute, because I know this has been very transformational for us personally as a team. Do you want to talk a little bit maybe about that, about how it's personally transformed the team?
Yeah, so I was so uncomfortable doing this for years, and I waited this long to ask for the business. I probably waited 14 years, 15 years before I really started to ask for the business. Now I do it so much, it's so comfortable, and there's no, like, I don't feel like the client is uncomfortable with me asking. An example, I call all your clients that are out looking, I call them weekly, and I'll say, hey, Nelson's an awesome agent. You know, we both know she's great. And they're like, yeah, she's awesome. Anybody out there that's looking to purchase, have you heard anybody? Can we get her a referral? Yeah, you know what, I haven't been thinking about it, but I will. And then I call them next week. Hey, just wanted to follow up with you. You know, we talk about the transaction, or when they're out looking, about the cash out of pocket payment on a specific property. Oh yeah, I just wanted to check. In the last week, is anybody that looking to purchase? Since you're telling people you're looking to purchase, anybody we can get Lori a referral for? And that's working awesome. And it's so comfortable, and they get it. And I never had anybody hang up on me, or lose a client, or lose a real estate agent because I'm trying to get them business. And the reviews and everything, they love the communication, because we're not just talking about the referral. I'm trying to help them. And then I feel like they, in a way, kind of owe us, because we're educating them and they want to help too. And when they you as an agent, they're going to give back. So that's my little idea of it definitely works. You just got to get comfortable and practice it.
Right. Thank you. So the next is, how often do you ask? How often, when you go to McDonald's, how often do they ask you if you want fries? Anybody? Every single time, correct? Yes? How do politicians end almost every campaign speech? Hi, I'm Joe Smith. I'm Jane Smith, and I'm running for senator. I'm asking for your vote. You can do this. People need the ask sometimes, and they need it often. And so some people say do it in every single conversation. I say do it in almost every conversation that you have with clients. Obviously, read the room. If somebody's telling you something that it just doesn't seem appropriate, okay, don't do that. That's just weird. But for most conversations, you can do this very easily and very naturally once it comes to you, and once you get this down to a science. Okay? Know your value. One of the things that I think is very important is that you should know off the top of your head 3 things every client can count on you for. And those 3 things are going to be different for, you know, Bob and Damien and Patty or everybody else. They're going to be different because each of you have different specialties. Each of you have different skills. Each of you have different experiences and bring different things to the table. So if you don't already know the 3 things that every client can count on you for, make that your homework assignment for this class. Know what you specialize in, know what you are the best in, and be able to rattle them off. You're not bragging, you're educating. So if your specialty is you're on the local market, you grew up there, you know this neighborhood in and out, you want them to use you versus an agent coming out of Richmond, Virginia. Use you. If you have a proven record of getting higher than asking price on your listings, share that because you want your client to make more money on the sale of their house. Whatever that is, work on it, know it by the back of your hand. Where you're not bragging, you're educating and you're helping your clients with those skills. Okay. And I've got a poll over here. If you haven't answered, answer, because I'm curious, do you know that? Do you know your intrinsic value as a realtor? And if you want to talk about that, and because you don't know it and you're like, I need to talk about what I think that might be. I like to figure out what people's skills are and their specialties are. And I would love to have that conversation with you and help you get that down. I know everyone on this call just about personally and would be, and I could tell you off the top of my head what I think you're really good at. So that would be a very easy way for me to help you out because I love to do it. So now we're going to get down to some actual calls to action. What is that? So let's talk about that. These are a few that I have come up with. Seems like okay, so you've been talking this whole time. Seems like we're a great fit. Would you like my help in selling or buying your home? And they need to give them time to respond. And I think sometimes our natural habit is to immediately jump on and not leave that pause. Leave that pause for them to answer. If you sign the listing agreement or the representation agreement, I guarantee no one will work harder for you. How does that sound? Gives the pause. Ready to move forward? We can sign this agreement right now to get moving. Take as long as you like, but I respect your time and the time we I want to keep to the time we schedule together. With that in mind, let's move forward with the actual agreement. You are moving them into a space of action. You are giving them time to respond. And that is both of those things are critical. And this last one is really good if you have let's just say a talkative client. So I would recommend if you have a very talkative, we all know there's clients that maybe they take 2 hours to say what could be said in 20 minutes. Schedule a beginning and ending time for your meeting with them if you anticipate that. And that way you could say something like this. And so hopefully you'll get that contract signed sooner rather than later. So you're ready to get started? We can get rolling right now. I'm really excited for you, helping you. Ready to get started? Will you do me a favor? Pause. If you know anybody willing to getting ready to buy or sell their home in the next 6 months, will you let me know so that I can reach out and contact them? And this is the one that I recommend for, especially a past client situation, because for your past client, they already like you. They already have a relationship. So if you ask somebody to do a favor and they commit to that, they're really going to do that more likely than not. And just give them that time to pause. Okay. Jeff, do you have any to add to this that you have found are really good that for you personally, or has anybody got really good ones here that they want to add to this? Anybody? Just raise your hand or no? Get you?
Well, just the last one that you went over is really a really good one. Will you do me a favor? Because when I started doing that in the beginning, I was uncomfortable. I want to answer for them, but but they'll say sure. You know, what is it? And then just ask them, you know, hey, you know anybody wanting to buy or sell a home? It works. And I do that all the time. I was uncomfortable. So that's a great point.
Mm-hmm. And if you start Googling around and just search call to action or calls to action, either one, you can find some other great examples in these, especially in just general sales education classes and resources there, as opposed to real estate specific ones. I will tell you, it's kind of frustrating first because most of them they're like, how to set up your website for calls to action. That is good, but I think the proven winner for this and this piece is that in person or over the phone ask. Nothing is more powerful. There's no website out there that I've ever seen that is capable of doing what that in person or over the phone ask can be like this. Some nitty gritty details. Sincere conversation with your client and really listen to them. And then I recommend this thing. It's called the pattern interrupt technique. It's a sales technique, but it strikes me as authentic and true. Stop, kind of change your tone, usually lower it and slow your words a little bit, so that it's very apparent that you're the conversation is going to the next level, to a new level of importance and a new level of interaction between the two of you. And then issue your call to action and wait for an answer. Don't start talking again. Wait for them to really tell you what they need and to tell you and commit. Try this, do an experiment, with the next 10 leads you call and do a different call to action for each of them and see what works best for you, what feels the most comfortable for you, and find your own voice and find your own way of doing this and empowering your clients to work with you. Give them the resources that they need. So, like I said, today was a much shorter class. We are glad and really appreciate you spending this time with us. Check your email this afternoon, and I'm going to send y'all some follow-up information, follow-up materials with this. And it's also got my contact information on there. So, of course, you can respond and ask any questions that you might have, because I am glad to do it. And see you next week for the tech class. I would love to see it. And always, we would love your referrals, and we would love to help your next client, because we truly believe nobody is going to work harder for your clients. Any questions from anybody? Anyone today? Okay. Well, thank you so much. I hope you have a great week. I hope you have a very busy weekend, issuing lots of calls to action to all your new clients. So take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Have a great one.
Hey guys, take it easy. Okay.